Well, you see how your life has improved. You look so happy and fulfilled.
The only thing that worries me is that my husband and I still don't have children.
Both you and your husband have a problem. He has tension and coldness there. He needs to run too. Does he run?
No, he has flat feet.
I have flat feet too. So what? He needs to run, warm up this area through running. As soon as he can run 5-6 kilometers, he'll be able to conceive. And you need to go to a swimming pool. You need to swim, eat raw vegetables. Everything I say in the lectures, you have to do it.
I started running, I feel some energy, but something is missing.
Swimming pool, because your body is overheated.
I love warmth so much, is that right?
All women love warmth, but specifically swimming will help you conceive.
Thank you. Can I ask one more thing? I started organizing events, both on a city scale and now on a national level. Is this really my thing?
It is yours. Did you want to boast or ask a question?
I wanted to ask because sometimes I feel discouraged when, for example, I approach with the aim of cooperation or partnership. And they tell me that they won't cooperate with me. Out of 100 inquiries, only 1 or 2 agree.
Everyone should cooperate with you, right?
No, of course not. So, it's worth continuing to try in this field, right?
Of course.
Thank you.
Your question, lady, in the second row.
Thank you for your lectures. I've been listening for a long time. God blessed me with 2 children. My son's daughter was diagnosed with diabetes at 5 years old.
Diabetes means heat in the body, an overheated body. Greens are very effective in treating diabetes. Eat more greens. You can eat stewed greens, there are such recipes, or raw greens. Greens help treat diabetes. We have such methods. We put certain seeds in the ears that can cool down the pancreas. But I don't know if we can cure the first type if she's on insulin or not, but we can alleviate her condition with these seeds. So maybe less insulin will be needed. Maybe her body or pancreas will work better.
And my daughter has had hormonal problems since she was 15. She had surgery on her pituitary gland, but she still hasn't had her period this year and she can't conceive.
The same, she needs to follow all my advice. These are all the recommendations for infertility. This includes prolonged continuous movement, static exercises, eating raw vegetables, and also signing up for treatment with seeds, because she needs to activate these functions. They are very suppressed in her.
I was interested in a different question. My scope of work with grandchildren.
Our scope of work is always everything that concerns us. You don't need to ask. So if something worries you, you're concerned about something. That's your scope of work. When you pray, first calmness comes to your heart, then influence. You understand what to do with the child, and then come changes for the better.
Can I? One question? Both are not about me.
Go ahead, we'll figure it out.
So the situation is this. In the Kazan area, in the village of Osinovo, the government decided to build a waste incineration plant.
Well, how can I help?
The village has been protesting for over a year, and people know that I'm coming here for the seminar. I keep in touch with them. I try to help them with prayers. And I participate wherever I can. And they are asking for your advice, as an elder.
What should they do?
Yes, we don't know.
Where should it be built? So, should it be built where there's no village? Well, let me tell you about the situation now. The overall situation is this. To build a plant, you need a lot of electricity. To have a lot of electricity, maybe it can be drawn from a high voltage line somewhere. Well, in principle, this is a good solution, yes. I understand that there will be environmental disturbance. They're planning to burn garbage.
Yes, it's a large plant. Garbage will be brought there from different cities. But the problem is that it's a protected area. It's a nature reserve.
And what do you want from me?
They are asking for advice on what to do.
There's always a very simple way. If local authorities don't respond, go to higher authorities, then even higher.
They've been to Moscow. Now they want to write to the president.
Well, let them write.
Should they continue?
Of course.
Can I help with prayer?
Prayer is the only thing that can help in this situation, because if we speak broadly, according to their fate, their living ecology is being disrupted. This is their fate. But if they pray to God, God will make it so that this doesn't happen. That means they have a difficult fate. Prayer is needed to overcome it, along with efforts. I can only say one thing. If they don't start building this plant within a year and a half, they will never build it, because the good fate for the construction of this plant is fading with each passing day. There are 2 months left. If they don't start building, the fate will become harder, and the people will have a better fate to stop this construction. But most likely, if they make efforts, it will be built in another place, not there. Let's move on to your next question.
My friend has a positive HIV status. We contacted your center.
We can't do anything.
Dr. Torsunov, at least to support. The person is ready to work.
Well, do everything I talk about. Movement, static exercises, fasting. All of this strengthens the body.
I told her prayer, running, yoga, helping others.
That's it. Great. She will recover. It will be easier for her. Because even just movement burns the very possibility of the virus existing. Static exercises strengthen the body's power. There are many other things that weaken the virus, as for example, if you brew pine needles, spruce needles from all conifers, just brew 2-3 needles and drink instead of water. This already greatly improves the ability to live without viruses, for all people on Earth in general. You can avoid getting sick with viruses at all if you brew needles and drink them instead of water. Then, you can put pine twigs at the head of the bed. The twigs will affect the state of health. These are such tips. Also, viruses are affected by white pepper, ginger, yellow mustard, pipoli. There's such a long pepper. Long pepper, I eat it every day. It has a very strong antiviral effect. So these measures must be taken. That means antiviral influence on the body plus prolonged movement.
I told her everything you recommended.
No need to talk about this anymore. We're wasting time. We're speaking for the people, not for you.
I want to tell you. I've been listening to your lectures for 1.5 years, attending festivals for 1 year. This is already the 3rd time. Last year, my husband went as an accompanying person. This year, he organized everything himself.
We have such an amazing festival. Yes, people's lives are changing, but it's already impossible to get in. Everything is already sold out.
I've been with your Amrita Center for 1 year and 1 year with the club. I bow deeply to you for your existence, for your work.
Thank you, that's all, my dear. The woman in white at the back, your question.
Hello, Dr. Torsunov. I have a question about difficult relationships with my father.
He's a categorical person. Learn to behave correctly. You should understand that not everything is in our power. Some people are incorrectly attuned to life, and you just need to slightly increase the distance from them. What does this mean? It means to communicate less confidently. Just wish happiness, congratulations, say kind words, but don't ask for advice, because these consultations with him will lead you to pain.
As I understood, I shouldn't be too open with my father?
Yes, because he is unfortunately a very categorical person who puts principles above love. This is incorrect.
And because of this, will I be able to forgive him?
You should distance yourself a little from him to make it easier for you. Gradually get used to him, because if a person behaves very harshly, then a close relationship with him destroys both the relationship and your life. That means that he should choose how to behave correctly. If he wants to respect you as a person, then you can be closer to him. If he doesn't want to respect you and you're just an instrument for him to implement his ideas, then in this case you need to distance yourself.
Well, for example, we live in different countries. We communicate very rarely. But when I start communicating with him, I start shaking.
Well, then don't do it. Communication can be different, I repeat again. You're not listening to me. You can wish happiness to your father every day. You can bless him, wish him health, give gifts. This is one type of communication. This is distance, a distance type of communication. If you start asking him for advice, you will be shaking because he is not qualified to give you advice. To give advice, a person must have a qualification. One must put the person above principles. This is called kindness. That means one needs to accept the person, not be harsh with them.
I understand. And another question. Is my personal life not working out because of such a relationship with my father?
Yes, it's all because of your father.
It's still somehow connected, right?
This is connected to your fate. You are the cause of your problems. You made mistakes in your previous life, and now you're being punished for this. Your father is just a warning to you. A person has 3 milestones in their fate, 3 main milestones. The first milestone is the parents. They warn. For example, if your father is harsh, it means it's a warning that you'll have difficult relationships with your husband. Then, if you haven't corrected the difficult relationship with your husband, haven't learned how to behave correctly with him, then the third milestone, these are your children. That means that you can't do anything with your father because he's warning you, and you can't do anything with your children because they punish you. So, you have your own life. This is your husband. Behave correctly with him. If you don't behave correctly, then your children will punish you, and your parents are warning you about what will happen in your life later. And this is your fate. Your father has nothing to do with it. And if psychologists tell you that it's your father's fault, then they don't know how this world works, and there's no point in listening to them.
Okay, thank you.
As for your personal life, only serious prayer and spiritual practice can help you arrange your personal life, because your personal life is very difficult. The possibility of meeting someone, This is how your fate is arranged, and it's better if you have many friends who will look for a groom for you and introduce you, then it will be easier. It's very difficult for you to meet someone on your own. Someone should introduce you. The woman who stood up, sit down. Your question.
Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. I've been married for 35 years. My husband has been working in Moscow for 15 years. He comes home periodically.
You've lost yourself in this relationship. You're humiliated in this relationship. You need to understand that if a person depends on a close person, is independence, it means they lose them immediately. When self-esteem is low, it is called dependence. Dependence leads to failure in personal life. So for self-esteem to return to normal, you need contact with nature, with good people, with God. Become self-sufficient. Become strong within yourself. You are not inclined to communicate. You're a bit lonely in life. This is a shortcoming. It needs to be removed. You lack nature. You're exhausted. You lack contact with nature. You lack contact with good people. With God, thank goodness, you've been restoring contact more or less lately. So you need to fill yourself with all these forces together. Your sense of self-worth will fall into place, and then you will become strong as a woman. When a woman becomes strong as a woman, it doesn't mean that her muscles grow. Her attractiveness, beauty, and influence on men grow, among other things. Then he will start to treat you differently.
There is a possibility that he will return home, because he has work at home too. Now he works as a masseur in Moscow. For some reason, he's always drawn there.
You're not listening to me. I'm talking about you now, not about him, because he embodies your fate. If you think that he should do something, then nothing will happen, because if you become better, he will be attracted to you and will return. Your fate will soften towards you. If you do nothing, it won't soften. But asking me, will he come back or not? It's like asking me, Dr. Torsunov, will I go to the store for bread or not? I don't know. It all depends on you because it's your fate. If you want to understand the topic deeper now, I can explain it to you in more depth. When you became dependent on him, you became unpleasant to him. He's essentially a loyal person. He didn't abandon you. He left because it's hard for him to live with you. You're humiliated, you're unhappy, and it's difficult to live with an unhappy person. As soon as you become happy, he will be drawn to you, and he will return. It's not a question of whether he'll return or not. The question is about your development. If I need bread, I'll definitely go to the store. There's no room for question here. He doesn't need you at the moment. The point is, you need to become needed. Instead of working on yourself, what are you doing in life? You're grieving, suffering, torturing yourself. This is the desire to die. It is simply laziness of the soul. When a person is lazy, they behave like this. And what should you do? You need to move, run, or walk for starters. You need to fast, remove excess weight. You need to practice yoga. You need to pray. You need to make friends with women because you lack social strength. You lack physical strength, social strength, and mental strength as well. You're a lonely person, which means you're weak. When a person has many friends and acquaintances, it gives them strength to overcome fate in relationships because personal relationships develop through relationships with friends. If you, for instance, have friendships, you're exercising your relationship muscles. And you can then apply this to your husband. You'll have more strength for relationships. But while you're weak in relationships, it's hard for you to build relationships with people. This doesn't concern your work. I'm talking about relationships. Have you seen the movie Office Romance? There the woman had everything great at work. But in personal relationships, as a woman, she was zero. We need to move on. The whole seminar is on this topic. We're discussing this topic with you. Your question?
How to correct mistakes.
What kind of mistakes? There are 3 types of people. There are people indifferent to each other. Their families always fall apart. There are people who put rules above the person. That's you. And the 3rd category, humane people. They always put the person above the rules. You need to change your thinking. You must understand that every person is limited in their ability to meet your demands and limited in their ability to understand you. A man is very limited in his ability to understand a woman. A woman is very limited in her ability to understand a man.
There's a problem in business.
That's a different topic. It's just a bad period in business. You just need to live with it, endure it, move forward, and gradually the business will recover. So this doesn't concern your relationships. Develop relationships. The time for business will come. Business always has its ups and downs. Today it's good, tomorrow it's bad.
I have a lot of debts.
That's different. A lot of debt means thoughtlessness. If a person thinks that business develops with the help of money, it's madness. Some people think that if you take a big loan, the business will immediately soar to the top. This is madness. Business develops with the help of your piety, which attracts good specialists. Your piety creates a very deep understanding of how to do business. That means your activity becomes more attractive, of higher quality and better than other people's. Then the business starts to take off, and if it takes off, you can borrow a little money that you can quickly repay. You're under an illusion. You think that if you take a lot of money, your business will immediately develop. Business doesn't depend on this. It depends on people and your understanding of how the process works. It also depends on your luck, the ability to make the right decisions. It depends on a person's piety and prayer. You went the wrong way. You entered into an illusion. There are 6 enemies of a person. The first enemy is lust. The second is anger. The third is greed. After greed comes illusion. If you fell for greed, wanting more than you're destined to have, then you're engulfed by the illusion that you can take huge sums of money and repay them. But this is madness. You can't repay them, and that's why you're suffering. Now you're punished by fate. Your suffering is a consequence of your thinking. This is not a bad period. This is incorrect thinking. Remember, money is a very dangerous thing. All people on earth should know this. It's the most terrible thing that can do anything to a person, so don't take mortgages or big loans. You don't know how your fate will turn out. You become a slave to repaying this money. If you can't work now, or if there's a crisis in the country, you simply lose everything because of this foolishness. Live on your own means. If you live on your own means, you'll gain freedom twice as fast. A mortgage means that you'll have to pay twice as much for the same thing. You might think a 10% interest rate isn't much, but they're giving you the wrong figure. Calculate how much you'll pay over the entire payment period. It turns out to be twice as much. In other words, you're in debt slavery twice as long. Debts are slavery. Be patient, the time will come. You'll have an apartment. Save up, and you'll never worry. When you save your money, what is there to worry about? Learn to endure your financial situation. Be patient. Never take risks. Otherwise, you'll ruin your life. You, sir, in the back.
Sometimes my wife's and my points of view on things don't match.
All people on earth, men and women, always have different points of view, because the nature of men and women is absolutely different. They look at the world in completely different ways. They have different interests, different desires, and it's impossible to unite this. You just need to love each other.
The question is, how to remain calm in this situation.
I'll explain now. Let's say I disagree with you, and therefore I'll just stand up and leave the hall. You know why? Because I simply don't accept you. I don't understand that I need to learn to accept that people might not understand me. A person should accept that many people won't understand them because we're all egoists. Egoism especially acts strongly in close relationships. Egoism flares up like fire. Egoism means a strong desire for happiness from someone, and people in close relationships very much want happiness. A strong desire for happiness from someone, to desire happiness without giving, this is egoism. Egoism blinds a person. Close people can't feel each other's needs. They feel their own needs very strongly, but they don't feel the needs of their close person. This blind state concerns all people on earth. If you understand that your close person won't feel your needs, then you'll stop taking offense. Right now you're taking offense because you don't agree with the very structure of close relationships. You don't understand their nature? That means that close family relationships are by nature very selfish and painful. People believe in them more than anything else in the world. They rely on these relationships, but these relationships are the most dangerous. They have such nature. This doesn't mean that you should give them up. You just need to know that they are dangerous. And when you know this, you won't be offended by a close person because that's the nature of relationships. But you rely very heavily on these relationships, and because of this hope, you get offended. Rely on relationships with good people, with friends. As the song goes, a friend won't abandon you in trouble, won't ask for too much. That's what a true loyal friend is. So friends are given to a person by God to make people's life easier. Next, you can rely on elders, mentors, holy people, and nature. Today I ran in your park and gained strength. A lot of strength to live. Nature always helps a person very well, but you rely on a woman, and you've already been let down so badly in this matter once, and that's not enough for you. Now you want to be let down a second time. It's time for you to understand that this is incorrect thinking. You believe in a woman, but you need to believe in God. This doesn't mean that a woman should be neglected. That means that you need to help her, take care of her, respect her, treat her tenderly, but you shouldn't believe that she will understand you. She may understand if you behave well and correctly. Over time, she will be very grateful. Her whole heart will open up and she will understand you. But this already means victory over fate. And fate lies precisely in relationships with a woman. And you have a difficult fate because you want too much happiness from these relationships. And because of this, you suffer. You, the lady in glasses, yes, your question.
Thank you very much. First of all, Dr. Torsunov, I want to wish you a long life. so that you teach a healthy lifestyle to as many people as possible.
People often tell me this when it's my birthday. They write, Dr. Torsunov, be healthy and live long so that you can always help us.
Is that bad? It's good, isn't it?
I agree. I'm just joking with you. I'm like that by nature. I'm like my maternal grandfather. He constantly joked with everyone. He couldn't just talk normally. I'm the same, forgive me.
Here's my question. I'm 45 years old, and as long as I can remember, I've always had some kind of illness. That means some go away on their own. Some I treat.
Because you're a woman.
Yes, I've had surgery several times already. Now I have some kind of ailment again.
A woman's body is very lazy, and because of this laziness, it gets sick. A woman's body is relaxed, it wants to enjoy life, and everything that's lazy is subject to rapid destruction. Therefore, a woman should, contrary to what the body wants to relax, not allow it to relax too much. It's necessary to move, do exercises. And you won't be able to force yourself, so women should unite in these efforts together, trying to help each other in order to survive somehow. In general, if we talk about women's health, there's a good joke on this topic. I really like it. So a woman has 3 stages of illness. The first stage is being sick. The second stage is very sick. The third stage is a widow. That means that the husband has already died, and she's still sick. According to statistics, men in Russia die 10 years earlier than women, but more women are ill. All hospitals are overcrowded with women because men only get sick in intensive care. Therefore, women should not monitor their own health, but the health of their husband. Because a husband will not complain, his body is tense, he is not prone to feeling illnesses while women feel their illnesses. So you need to watch your husband, otherwise you might miss it, and then suddenly he's gone. And since you feel your illnesses, you shouldn't end up in the surgical department, but you need to monitor your health. You need to make an effort. You need to understand this principle, how to be healthy. I'm telling you about it. We'll talk about this today. What success is, what health is, how to be successful. I'll tell you now, and then you follow it.
I thought maybe these illnesses are destined by fate. That means that they are given by fate. I heard in one of your lectures that different people are given different amounts of health.
This is true, but illnesses are not destined by fate. You have little health by fate, but this doesn't mean that you should be sick. If you pay attention to your health, perform asceticism practice for health, you won't be sick. I'll tell you now what to do. You do this and you'll be healthy.
Okay, thank you.
You just need to believe me and you should do this, and then you will be healthy.
Maybe they are given to get rid of bad karma?
You insist, don't you?
I'm just thinking maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm not understanding well.
Yes, of course, for getting rid of bad karma. That means, let's say, a finger was cut off to get rid of bad karma, another was cut off to get rid of bad karma, liver was cut out, all of this to get rid of bad karma. But you can think differently. You can simply perform asceticism practice and nothing will be cut off.
Thank you.
Illnesses are given as warnings. If something hurts, it means you're living incorrectly. It doesn't mean you need to take some pill or go to some doctor. It means that you're living incorrectly. You all should remember rule number 1, which we have forgotten. Humanity has forgotten this rule. The rule is this: our body can heal everything by itself. It's designed in such a way that it only needs strength for this. And the problem is that the body simply doesn't have enough strength to heal itself. As soon as strength appears, it immediately begins to heal. I'll talk more about this with you today. You don't have the strength in your body to heal. You, the lady in the back, ask.
Dr. Torsunov, first of all, I wanted to say a huge thank you. I had a history of infertility for 18 years, but my twins will soon be 9 months old.
Did you get pregnant because you followed recommendations from the lectures?
No, I was treated at your Amrita clinic.
You got treatment, but we made you walk and run, didn't we?
Yes. I did all this for a year. The following year, to be honest, I gave up on all this and did it only periodically. And I just thought that when your specialist told me, yes, you will get pregnant, I chuckled to myself. I didn't believe it. But it happened, can you imagine? And I gave birth to a boy and a girl.
Now I can chuckle.
And there was a question, a woman here, how to do this. You forbid saying this, but it's true.
No need. Let them do it themselves. Don't rely on a doctor. Let people try to help themselves. Otherwise, they will keep saying, Dr. Torsunov, help me. Help yourselves. I can only contribute a little bit to this.
Just a little bit, 18 years of waiting and just a little bit.
Waiting is not a way to live.
Probably.
You need to do something. If you did as I told you in the lectures, everything would work out right away.
But one thing happened. After we had children, My relationship with my husband sharply deteriorated.
There's a reason. The reason is that you're exhausted in your relationships with children, you don't have enough strength, and you take it out on your husband. You need nature, the same thing again, that means that you don't have enough strength. Look, she says that her relationship with her husband has deteriorated, and I'm saying that she lacks the strength to tolerate a close person. Strength comes from nature. This is a physical problem, not a mental one. That means that her body can't handle the stress. She simply needs to start walking outdoors, breathing fresh air, and doing exercises. Spend more time closer to nature, and you'll have the strength to tolerate your husband. You just don't have the strength right now. You're spending a lot of energy on children, and that's all. Because of this, you're getting upset and nervous. You in glasses, ask your question.
For 4 years, our family has been experiencing a cycle of unfortunate events. What should we do to alleviate this period?
This period has already ended. This period will not repeat. What else is bothering you?
To restore relationships with his relatives. It's very difficult for him emotionally.
It's about health. This has nothing to do with a bad period. This means an incorrect lifestyle. Every person ages in this world. As we age, we need to spend more energy and time on health. There is no bad period. You simply need jogging, workouts, fasting, static exercises, all that is necessary to overcome one's fate. You don't do this, that's why you're getting sick. It's difficult for you simply because your body can't handle it. And it's the same for him. As for the relatives, they have problems. They have some mental issues, they're just throwing tantrums. You can pray for them, but you shouldn't build close relationships with them now. Something is happening to them and they're breaking down. You have nothing to do with it at all. Are you smiling at me so that I would ask you? Okay, go ahead and ask. You see how a woman acts. She smiles so that she would be asked.
The man has a habit of kicking us out of the house with the children. What should be done about this?
You see, you're a strong personality and he can't handle you. I know what to do. You need to understand that you shouldn't provoke a man's ego. Let's say you don't understand what to do with a man. There's a very simple scheme. You should simply agree with everything, and I guarantee you that everything will go your way. If you agree with everything, a man becomes generous and you can get anything you want from him. When a woman is submissive to a man, he immediately relaxes and he's ready to do anything for her. But the problem is that you sometimes take a very firm position in your relationship with him, and you should know that a woman's psyche is several times stronger than a man's. When he sees your strength, he breaks down. And when a man breaks down, he starts to subjugate the woman through willpower. That means he kicks her out of the house and tries to do something that would throw her off balance, so that she feels that she is weaker. In other words, he does this to show you that he is stronger. There is no other reason for this. It's not that he wants you to live somewhere else. He's just taming you, so to speak.
The second question, could this be related to the fact that grandfather used to kick grandmother out?
This is related to the fact that you simply have a very strong character by nature. Men, please, I'm asking you, don't look for girls who are too beautiful, because the more beautiful a girl is, the more strength and ambition she has. Look for someone within your capabilities. If you see that she's too beautiful, you might not be able to handle it, because the more beauty women have, the more ambition they have. Beauty is a woman's strength. It's her ambition. It's very dangerous. That's the situation he's found himself in.
I'm very accommodating, kind, and obedient in relationships. It's just that he has bad periods. He gets carried away emotionally. He can behave like this out of the blue. I don't even know what to do. We have 4 children. I gave birth to 2, and I accepted 2 more children. Their mother is ill. When he kicks us out, usually my children leave, and then his children come to visit me. So, he ends up alone.
He can't kick you out. He has no chance. You know, I'll tell you something. People think it's bad character, but he's just overheating. He's very hot-tempered. He needs to go to a swimming pool. He needs fresh air. He needs to eat more raw food. It's an elementary thing. If he starts cooling his body, he will stop kicking you out. This happens because the heat in his body breaks his psyche. You need to take care of his health. Buy a swimming pool membership or force him into the bathtub in the evening. Because when a person lies in a warm bath, they cool down. With a sauna, you need to be careful. You have to keep the order: cold first, then heat, then cold again. You can't just use the sauna without cooling your body. You will be overheated. That's it. Now you know the reason? He's overheating.
What do you think? Should I forgive him? What should I do?
What is there to forgive? Look, let's say I'm giving a lecture and I'm doing it carelessly. Should I be forgiven or not?
Of course.
Why? Because it's an illness. Illnesses should be forgiven. What's happening to him is an illness. He's a kind, good person, decent. Just the illness overheats him. You can even anticipate these events. As soon as he stops talking to you, becomes silent, it means he's about to explode. If he's silent, it means there will be an outburst soon. It means he's already hot. As soon as he starts reacting to you, immediately put him in a warm bath. We can use stones. We have such a treatment method. It's called a black and white scheme, and these stones will cool him down. He needs to do something with his head. We can put seeds in his ears. They can remove this tension. This is a mechanical thing. It just needs to be removed, and that's it. One of your 2 children is the same as him, also overheats. The same measures need to be applied. Today I would like to leave some time for you to ask questions specifically about the 2 days of lectures, not about your problems, but specifically about the lectures. If you ask about your problems, I won't give you the floor. Your question, young man, yes. Because we need to sort through a lot of information that has come in. We need to reflect on it a little now. I want to thank you for visiting this lecture, for filling each other with joy. You all are amazing, beautiful people. Look at this young woman. Please stand up in the first row, turn around. Tomorrow I hope all women will come like this. Well, are you women or not? You need to adorn yourselves, be beautiful. A woman should be beautiful. It's natural. Beauty, flowers, love. This is a woman. Why is it difficult to get married? A beautiful woman can get married easily if she cultivates both outer and inner beauty, of course. An outward beauty doesn't hurt either.
My question is about what you said yesterday about energies, and that behind every successful man there is a woman. I'm also interested in energy practices, and I've had this question for a long time. I can't find an answer. After, let's say, intimacy between a man and a woman, some women recharge the man, while others can, on the contrary, take this energy away. How can a man determine at the level of communication what kind of woman is in front of him?
Which one will take and which one will give? The answer is this. You can't deceive God. You'll get what you're meant to get. If you're meant to suffer from a woman, you will suffer. If you're meant to enjoy, you will enjoy. Energy practices won't help you with this, because the more you cheat with women, the more you lose your devoutness, which is necessary to find yourself a good wife. Because a good wife can be found by a man who practices celibacy, and the woman who practices celibacy. Remember, the exchange of energies, even on a sexual level between a man and a woman, means purity. Only a pure person can bring pleasure to another person. Any impurity, any debauchery, no matter what you call it, energy practices or anything else, always leads to befoulment and defeat in life. Therefore, in ancient culture, men had to practice celibacy. Women practiced celibacy. Thanks to their purity and love, they developed pure relationships at all levels, which brought happiness. There is physical compatibility between men and women, but this compatibility is even worse, because if you find, as you're looking for, a woman who will strongly inspire you on a sexual level, then this will be the strongest defeat in your life. Because when such a woman appears, you will become attached to her, because it is sexual relations that bind people with such a strong rope that a person loses the ability to take care. He becomes dependent on the person, dependent and unhappy, and then separation follows because a woman won't be able to bear such dependence. And the more you enjoy a woman on a sexual level, the greater the danger of this painful attachment and the greater the danger of family destruction. It will take you a while to understand what I've said, because desires interfere. There are things that prevent understanding the truth. These are desires. They lead a person away from correct understanding. Desires make one listen to those who fuel the desire. And I don't fuel desire because I'm already an old, worn-out dog. I will only tell the truth to everyone. That's it. I don't need popularity or money, nor your respect for me. I only need the joy that comes from my heart, from God, when I tell you what you need to know. And that's all. And if we talk about love and relationships, a woman is not an object to be enjoyed. She can give pleasure, that's true. But she can also give terrible suffering as well. A man should know this. Therefore, a man should learn to take care of a woman. Not think about how to enjoy her, but take care of her. There's a folk song, Little Berry. You hear, again the little berry hides her eyes, a pearl-like tear on her cheek. A woman is being described. If you men have such an attitude towards women, then in other aspects you will also be energetically good. Do you understand what I'm talking about or not? And if you think a woman is a machine for pleasure, then you will get a different result, because a woman has 3 energies within herself. The first energy is called the energy of the Lord's spouse, or the energy of happiness and prosperity. It is given to those who serve God and have forgotten about themselves. The second energy of a woman is the energy of knowledge. It is given to the person who is learning to live correctly. The third energy of a woman is the energy of curse and punishment, and it is given to those who use a woman's body for their own pleasure. No matter how a person tries to run away from this, if a woman is a machine for pleasure for him, it means he will soon receive such tantrums, such a nightmare from her, that it will be more than he bargained for. And she herself won't be able to do anything about it because power flows through a woman. She can't do anything with it, so a man who considers a woman just a tool for his pleasure will always suffer in relationships with her. And this suffering will never end until he understands that before him is a divine being who needs to be cared for, and this attitude will give gratitude and happiness in the relationship with her. That's a different question.
Thank you so much for coming to visit us in Kazan. I'm very grateful to you. You came last year as well. I'm so happy that you came this year, even though you had planned for next year, but came this year instead. It's precisely because of your lectures that my life is definitely changing. I'm sincerely grateful to you. And here's a question. You talked about how if a woman is successful in business and has a family, while giving her all at work.
That's how it is for you.
Yes, I know that I have a very good family, but now I feel that I'm really drawn to business, and everything is working out there. And moreover, I really feel that I'm drawn to this particular scale.
Everything is excellent for you. You are a good person. You are living life correctly. You are developing devoutness. Your strength is increasing. Your sense of confidence is growing. Your faith in what you're doing is also increasing. Everything is going according to plan. Everything is fine. You see how joyful she is? This is how every person should be. She talked for 5 minutes and gave happiness to everyone. This is how a person should live. My dear, should I give you recommendations every day? No. Who has questions about the lectures? Do you have a question? The girl in white there in the first row.
Thank you very much for the lecture. You talked about taking certain actions in order to overcome fate. But why do we need to overcome fate?
Excellent question. Why overcome fate? Remember the purpose of fate. Why treat diseases? That's fate. Fate is given for us with one purpose only, to overcome it. Fate is happy when we overcome it. That means that fate is given only for overcoming, not for endurance, not for torment, not for suffering. It is given only for us to overcome it, so that we become strong, happy, and this is the purpose of human existence, for us to become self-sufficient, strong, happy, and victorious in this world. Both women and men should become victors, just their victories are different. People should not be sick, humiliated, and unhappy. This means that they are living incorrectly. It doesn't mean anything else. Even when a person passes away from a severe illness, I've seen it. The Lord showed me all this. I saw how a person with cancer passes away with a smile on their face and goes to the spiritual reality because they pass away with prayer. Should I tell you this story? When I lived in a holy place, I had to treat various people, including holy people, and the daughter of one very dignified person came to me. She said, "Please treat my father because he has lymph node cancer, and he's not aware of anything. He already has metastases throughout his body. I want you to try to help him." I said, "I won't be able to help him." She said, "We'll try. We will pray for you." So I came. There is a method of treating cancer using tree bark. I selected from many different trees in India. I found a tree whose bark I thought should help him. I started tying fresh bark to his legs and hands, and his metastases began to dissolve. Many cancerous lymph nodes were on the surface, and it was clearly visible how they decreased. The first to dissolve were the metastases in his head, and he stopped being unconscious. He began to think clearly, to understand everything, and he even started to get up, to walk slowly. He began to recover. His complexion improved. He was in a good mood, and digestion began to improve. I told him then, "I'm glad you're recovering." He looked at me and said, "I don't know yet if I'm recovering or not, because I don't know God's plans for me. Maybe He wants me to be somewhere else." I didn't understand how a person could reason like that, because he spoke about it absolutely calmly, as if it wasn't about his own life. A few days later in prayer, he saw that God wanted to take him. He told me, "You can continue to treat me if you want, but I know for sure that very soon I will leave this world because there are plans for me elsewhere." I didn't understand at all. I said, "I will treat you. I believe you should recover." He said, "I think so too. Treat me. Everything is fine." A few days passed and my bark stopped working on him. I applied it on him and he got worse. We tried several times and then removed it all. A couple of days later, he knew exactly the time of his passing. He told everyone this time. And when that time came, it was evening. Many of his friends gathered. It was a holy place. Many people came. A room was full of dignified people. Then the prayers began. And during loud prayers, with open eyes, in a state of joy and happiness, with a smile on his face, that's how this person passed away into the spiritual reality. Before passing away, he told me, "Thank you for giving me the opportunity to pass away in full consciousness." Remember, when a person passes away thinking about God, about purity and light, they achieve purity and light. Therefore, there is no defeat in anything. If a person is able to correctly understand what life is, understands that it has an eternal nature, then there is no defeat in anything, even in the fact that a person dies from a severe illness. Defeat lies in the fact that we lose ourselves, we fear death, we fear illness, we fear a difficult fate. There's no need to be afraid of anything. Most often people recover, but sometimes those people who cannot recover for some reason, or those people whom God wants to take, leave this world. Therefore, know that in this world everything is intended only for victory, even suffering. This is a path consisting of trials, and in fate everything is planned very far ahead and carefully. For example, about a previous life, I learned in prayer, and then in a dream, the Lord showed me that I passed away in a concentration camp. It was somewhere near Romania. And at this time, when I was passing away, I strongly wanted to help people. And two things that I wanted helped to overcome fate. I saw people suffering and wanted to get rid of it and of the existence I was in. With these thoughts, I passed away. And this gave me an impulse from early childhood to help people and to overcome fate. Don't think that death itself is something bad. God has a plan for each of us. Maybe the past life seems unsuccessful because the passing occurred at a young age. But if you take into account 2 lives, it turns out to be quite good because from birth a person gets a very strong impulse for development. Therefore, don't think that God's plan is bad. It's just much bigger than we can imagine. He has His own plans for each of us. Your question, yes, yours will be later, so don't worry.
Regarding plans. Very often, when things are good, there's a feeling of abandonment, loneliness.
The thing is, we're talking about some deep, intimate aspects of your fate now, right? We're not talking about the lecture in general. I'll explain to you where these feelings come from. You passed away in your previous life in deep depression. You see, this depression has been living with you since birth. You can only overcome it with the help of a very deep remembrance of God. So, if you want to understand the reason why you feel so lonely and dull in life, it's because you passed away in such a state in your previous life. For example, if a person is afraid of heights, it means they passed away in their previous life by falling from a height. If a person is afraid of enclosed spaces, it means they died in an enclosed space. Afraid of fire, it means they burned, and so on. Your main emotion while passing away was depression, unwillingness to live. Life has an infinite nature. A person by passing away doesn't get rid of problems. In the next life, whatever problem they had, they are born with it, and then it needs to be solved. Therefore, focus on God, not on your problem, and you will get rid of it in this life. You will feel your heart open, harmony with all people, absence of loneliness, lightness, and happiness. This will be the result of your victory. This will definitely come in your life if you think correctly, because you're focused on death, not on life. When a person focuses on a problem, they focus on death. When a person focuses on the sound of saints, on good deeds, on nature, on good people, they focus on life. Focus on life, and you will overcome your fate.